here with Victor Penev, did I say that right?
That's right.
Of Edamam. Nice to see you, man.
Nice to see you.
You are a B2B business, and what does Edamam do?
So we organize and structure food and nutrition data, and we try to give it back to people so they can make smart food choices. Our mission is to ultimately help everyone on the planet make smart food choices with regard to food so they live healthy, happy, long lives.
That's a good thing.
We believe that people can live up to 120 years.
Whoa.
Without chronic conditions, without mental disease, if they eat right. And so we actually want to help people do that. And we've come to the realization that it's a data problem. Ultimately it's information problem. Having to make the right choice, you have to know what to eat, and overcome your laziness and all that stuff. But
that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So you provide different companies with that data on what good foods to eat.
Correct. We are data as a service provider, so we provide a couple of products. One is nutrition analysis in real time using natural language, so you can type, copy, paste, speak, and then we'll immediately analyze that and provide nutrition data for you. Restaurants use that, companies like New York Times or Epicurious or Food Network. But then the other thing that I think is more interesting is we provide meal recommendations. So based on diet and health preferences, based on ingredients, we'll provide you with a recommendation what you should be eating. So example would be maybe you're type 2 diabetic, and say less than 35 grams of sugar per serving, carbs per serving, no monosaccharides, and by the way, my husband was on paleo diet and my kid's allergic to peanuts, and I have broccoli, chicken in the fridge, what can I do? And we'll provide in real time a bunch of suggestions and then, help you find the right choice.
So where is the consumer giving that information to?
So we have different companies we work with. For us, it could be, you're shopping in a grocery store, right? And you're looking at a piece of fish you've never seen before. What's that fish? You can look up recipes that fit your diet with that particular fish. So that's one interface. Another is you might be in a restaurant, looking up a menu of what to eat, and we'll provide the nutrition information. It could be on a smart fridge, like I just saw the Samsung guys talk about that big screen on their refrigerator. That might be a place where the recipe shows up with suggestions of these are the recipes that fit, and you select one. And maybe you say, I want to buy those ingredients, or maybe you say, I want to cook the recipe.
And then Amazon just ships them to you.
Absolutely. So, and that's the ideal scenario. It's like, you have a conversation, you say, look, I just bought a piece of this strange fish, what can I do? We provide the recipe, and you say, Amazon ship it, and in 2 hours it arrives, and then, you tell whoever to cook it.
And when you say conversation, are you talking voice activated?
Could be voice activated. We are completely UX agnostic as a B2B service, so we provide the underlying data to make those decisions for all the companies. And sometimes it's just a website, sometimes it's a mobile app, but sometimes it could be voice recognition. We definitely are agnostic as to the interface.
Yeah, I just saw when you said that, like me speaking into my fridge and like, here's what I need, and here's the dietary restrictions, and here's the thing, and then it's just happening.
It might be even easier. It might be like you're on the way home, and it's like, just, type it or copy it, or just say, look, what am I going to eat tonight? And, ideally what we want to do is just say, look, you have at home those ingredients, and you can cook this that fits your diet. But by the way, we see you on the corner of 3rd Avenue and 6th Street, and there are 3 restaurants here, and those 3 dishes match.
That's really cool.
Ideally what you want to eat. So you can stop by, or you can order it and that get delivered and all that.
And that's not in place today, that what you just said there?
It is kind of in place, but not fully, because restaurant nutrition is still kind of far off. Big restaurants have some nutrient data. We're working with partners, and
you've got to go to those restaurants and be like, hey, we want your data.
We want to get the data. Yeah, we have a tool. We have probably the fastest and easiest to use tool for restaurants to actually analyze their nutrition. It's super cheap. It's just one click. Copy paste, click analyze. You get the full nutrition data. So eventually, you want to get the data for every single meal ever cooked, prepared, eaten, and be able to suggest to people what they should eat.
Right. This question comes up a lot, especially the Smart Kitchen Summit, when it comes to this kind of new ecosystem of smart devices, getting better foods, getting quicker meals. Do you see your company as well working with other companies to basically facilitate this? Because it seems like it's a needed thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, the way we look at it is, don't want to be touching the consumer necessarily. Our customers do, and we don't want to compete with our customers. What we want to become is the data layer.
Right.
Ultimately, for every single interface of making a decision or an action around eating, you need data. And you can create that data yourself, you can get it from somewhere else, but ultimately I think if we organize in one place all the data in a nice format that's structured and easy to serve,
right,
then a lot of our customers will be able to tap into it and provide their services. So that's kind of where we see our role, is kind of like almost the plumbing, if you will, the data plumbing of the system.
Oh, that's a good, data plumbing. It like makes sense, and like you just like visually can understand it.
Yeah,
it's at the bottom, it's making everything work. My question is there any pushback though with the other people creating their own kind of data, pipelines?
I mean, there are all kinds of people creating data. I think ultimately it is, how useful your data is. And so we solve for specific use cases. For us, it's health and diet driven because that's kind of our mission.
Yep.
So we are building around nutrition, around making the right healthy choices and whatnot. Eventually, that's going to expand into every meal you eat, and obviously that's going to expand into other activities, like geolocation, the restaurants nearby.
Yeah.
It could be supply chain data. Where does the food come from? It could be biome or genome data, so that we can further personalize. There are a lot of companies that would be coming into that. We think that we can build kind of a one platform of organized structured data. Whether we win the market, I don't know, but to the extent that we don't want to compete with our consumer customers and we want to just be that layer, I think we've carved a nice niche. And we have a little bit of a head start. We're already kind of establishing a brand. We have some big customers, like Nestle and Samsung and Amazon and the Food Network. So we already kind of started to establish ourselves.
It's important to, again, have these conversations with those companies and get that ball rolling.
Absolutely.
And getting it early and being persistent and saying like, hey, we just want to help. People live to 120.
Absolutely.
I want to live to 120.
Absolutely. And look, I mean, the way we think about it is to have the most impact. We thought about going B2C and we started that way, but ultimately, unless you build a Google or a Facebook, you're not going to touch that many people. But if you work with all the B2B companies, then you have the consumer at various touch points, where they're shopping in a grocery store, when they order in a restaurant, where they're talking to somebody planning a meal, whatnot. We can impact them at all those points and actually make more difference.
Exactly.
So that's kind of our goal, is eventually to be serving everybody on the planet.
Yeah, and it's a good way to do it. I mean, it's smart, and it's about health, and that's what I really like about it. So, Victor, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Good luck with Edamam. Is it edamam.com?
Edamam.com, yeah. That's
there you go. Check it out.
Thank you.
Thanks.